so we are, and then here we then go live. Are you wiggling?
This baby, he hates to be held like a baby.
I was
If you hold him like
saying,
this, he's frustrated. He likes to do like this.
he's got too much to see and do. He's ready to rock and roll.
He looks.
Oh,
He looks
oh
like
no!
he's
He just threw up on you. Don't pull him up.
I was saying.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Magnetic Agent Live. I am broadcasting from Indianapolis. Here's Libby,
Hi, we're so excited to have her here.
black belt team leader. Hey.
Crazy mom too.
Crazy mom too. And we color coordinated without even color coordinating.
And check out the podcast she's gonna be starring on later.
Oh yes, what is it? It's Big Real Estate
Estate
Energy. Yes, look it up on Instagram and follow it. It's gonna be good. I can't wait. So today I got a comment last week about the showing partner model. So I wanted to walk through the mindset of the model before we actually dive into the how to. Let me just make sure I am on live here. Let's check. Hopefully, yes. Okay, it's all working. I figured it out. Okay. So what happened is that I studied the model for how to build a team. Okay. So when I got together with my coach, I was 100% by myself and I was running myself ragged and just losing a little bit of myself because I had 2 under 2. And it was just a rough season. Just with having to do the showings, having to do the marketing, having to do basically everything. So when I talked to my coach, the first thing she told me is you need an admin assistant. So that's what I did. I went and I got an admin assistant. And I didn't know anything about hiring. I still feel like I don't know a lot about hiring. I follow the career visioning process. But for me, it's more of a feeling and you have to have that gift. And so fast forward, and not to get off track, but I did hire an HR consultant at one point, and that was the best experience because I gave her the job description. I had clarity on what you can come say hi. I had clarity on what exactly it was that I needed from this person. And I was able to hand off that job to somebody who was actually good at that. I know when I'm not good at something and I'm not good at hiring. So I hired this person before I realized that I was really bad at hiring. And she was culturally misaligned. I also found out, through the implementation of my checklists and my workflows and everything that she also wasn't a good executor. And so I ended up letting her go. At the same time, I didn't feel any relief because my business is mostly buyers. So I was still running around all over the world. And so I didn't feel like I had gained any of my time back. Even though I had my administrative tasks sort of handled, I didn't really. So that probably was part of the problem. The majority of my life was spent in the car and showing houses. And I'm guessing some of you feel the same way. I don't know if anybody's on here that can comment on that, but I know that I struggled with that so much, and especially with my daughter, who was very much addicted to nursing, to put it bluntly. And I'm having the same situation with my 6th son. So she was my 2nd. This is my 6th. So he's very much like behaviorally the same as Elena was. And so I'm in a completely different space now. So even though I'm going through the same personally, because my professional life is under control and structured, I can actually enjoy it. So back then, I didn't have that structure and I didn't have the leverage. So I would go show a house, run home, feed the baby, rush back out, show another house, rush home, feed the baby. I'm not a good pumper for the moms out there. I just don't get a ton of output. She was really fat. So I know that I was making the milk, but for some reason, like my body just doesn't like the machines. So I wasn't getting that output. And I'm still not live on Instagram. I don't wonder what's unable to connect. Let me turn it off and turn it back on again. Oh, I see. Okay, we can do that. I'm happy to do that. Okay. So I was running myself ragged. I would come home and I would just cry because I really wanted to nurse Elena and I couldn't. So I expressed that to my coach, and my coach sorry guys, okay, there we go. So my coach then told me, you know what? We have this admin. She's kind of working out. Why don't you look at hiring a buyer's agent? So that's when I put an ad out, even though it was so you're going to see a lot of patterns in a lot of the things that I teach and coach and tell you about my journey, my personal journey, and we'll explore other people's journeys too. But my personal journey, at least, like I may have disagreed with something that my coach told me to do, and I did it anyway. I was talking in the car on my way here to Indianapolis about how I will say negative things out loud. And I know that you're not supposed to do that, right? Because it attracts the wrong energy. But I almost feel like I have to say it out loud just to hear how stupid it is. And then I take action anyway. And so a lot of people, especially Kyle, who's one of my really good friends, I'll speak to him and I'll say, you know, I'm horrible. I'm so disorganized. I should have done this differently. Um, and he'll say, don't talk like that. And he'll try to coach me. And I will accept it, right? Because I'm like, I'm not supposed to say that. But once you learn how you're wired, you can actually listen to those comments and realize that maybe that's not the way that you work, right? And so I realized that today because we're listening to a book, and in the book, oh, how do I undo that? Okay, whatever. So in that book, he talks about distractions and how distractions can come in many different forms. And one of the things that you have to do is be nice to yourself, right? Like it's what you always hear. Just be nice to yourself. Don't say negative things about yourself. And I thought about it and I'm like, but I say negative things about myself, but then I take action anyway. And when I dug a little bit deeper, I realized that I say things out loud. I realize how silly they are. And then my brain is like, that's super silly. Like, why are you saying that? You know that that's not true. And then I go and take action. So sometimes, even though on the exterior it looks like somebody is being negative, it could be just the way that they cope with what's going on in their situation. So, same thing here, right? I disagreed with my coach. I didn't want to hire a buyer's agent. I didn't feel like A, I was ready, or B, that I wanted to take that path. And I'm still an individual agent today. So leading a team of agents doesn't spark joy for me. It didn't then, it doesn't now, but I am moving towards changing that. And we can talk about that another time. but I did it anyway. I put the ad out for a buyer's agent. Somebody applied. Again, I'm not good at hiring. I didn't think that this person was a good fit. I had Jimmy do the career visioning process with her. She ended up being with me for 6 years. She was fantastic. But when we brought her on, I broke down and I was like, I don't think this is the right move. I'm not ready for a buyer's agent. And Emily, my coach, was like, you're right. You need a showing partner. So when I went back to this person, I was so excited because I didn't feel like they were a good fit for my team. And I told her, sorry, I'm not hiring a buyer's agent. I'm looking for a showing partner. She said she was still interested. So she ended up doing the career visioning process with Jimmy, and she ended up being a part of my team for 6 years. Let me see this. I don't know how to see your guys' comments on here, so I will undo. Can I just remove this? I'm sorry, guys. There we go. Okay. So once I hired Cami, the reason why I had a lot of pushback with hiring somebody is I had hired an admin assistant, and so I was already spending money and I was already in the hole. And B, I just didn't want to bring anybody else on. Like I felt like that was just an additional task list for me, a person to train, a person to answer to. So I hired her anyway. I paid her a percentage of every commission that she touched. So if she showed a buyer one house or 30 houses, she got a percentage of that commission. She was with me for 6 years. She was making 6 figures, and she was working about 40 hours a month. But it's 40 hours that I got back in my life. And that's when I realized at that moment, once it started to work, once I went from 5 transactions to 76 in 16 weeks, I realized something, and it's that to build a business that you can event, or just as a solo agent, you peel away the layers. So one task at a time, you start to give to somebody else until you're left with just the core. So right now, my model is I'm an individual agent, and my jobs are negotiating and lead generation, lead follow up. Not even lead follow up, lead generation. Lead generation, negotiation. Those are my 2 tasks that still belong to me. And now they are starting to pester me. So I'm looking for a way now to get rid of even those 2 so that I can fully step away from my business. Now that it's got structure, leverage, somebody else can step in pretty easily and take over my 2 tasks. Is anybody here? I see some people that are here. Leave a comment if you have any questions. What else do you want to know about this showing agent model? Hola. Got some people joining here on TikTok. Well, I hope this is helpful information for you guys. If this time doesn't work too, if you could leave in the comments what a better time would be, that would be super helpful so that I can be on at a time that's more convenient for everybody. I'm here to answer any questions about the showing agent model. I pay a percentage of every transaction. So when my original showing partner left, I did not panic. I usually panic when somebody leaves, and with such a big responsibility like the showings, I really thought that I was going to fall apart. but I didn't. I was very okay with it because I felt like the time was coming for us to part ways, sadly. And so I was able to test what I teach about what this avatar should look like. And I found somebody that's been with me since February, and she is so happy. She made her first $10,000 month, her first month. And I mean, she's been at her job for, oh, probably, I think 10 or 20 years. And so just a really long time waiting to retire. And she went out and got a BMW. And she, like, we usually meet online once a week, but this time I was like, let's meet in person. I want to see you in person and hug you and see how things are going, maybe share a meal together. And she showed me her car. She was so excited that we were going to meet in person so she could show me her car. And I was just so incredibly proud of her. It was so much more than just the car. It was the fact that she had achieved all of that just by buying into the model. So for my showing partners, I do not allow them to sell. So it's truly a solo agent team with support. So any leads that she generates, if she generates them, come directly to me and I convert them. She still shows them the houses if they're a buyer. I do pay her gas, so that's a hard expense that I have with her, a hard cost. But other than that, yeah, it's just commission based. I'll stick around a little bit longer and see how everybody's, see if anybody comes in. Oh, I got some messages here. This is so interesting. Oops. I don't understand so much of this. It's fun though. It's fun to learn something new. Well, this video will be saved on the Facebook group, so you can access it at any time. I will start to move the people that are supporting my book launch into what's called the Magnetic Agent Insider Group, and I'll be announcing that here in a couple of days. And I'll stop saving these videos on the page, and they'll be saved on the Insider page. I just want to reward the people that are supporting my launch. Selling a book is not easy. I've sold much more expensive things than a $20 book and had an easier time. So this is just a way to reward those people that have supported me on the launch. So I'm really grateful, and I will continue to provide this content that will hopefully give you your time back and increase your business.